quiet, tucked away place. We don't even have a proper road leading in, just an old, winding dirt path surrounded by trees so thick they block out most of the sunlight. So far from anywhere else that news, people, even time itself seems to pass us by. Usually that's a blessing, but lately it feels like a curse. Especially now in autumn, as the nights are growing longer. The sun barely hangs in the sky before it dips behind the mountains, leaving us in darkness. Cold winds start howling through the forest just as dusk falls, and the shadows, they seem darker and heavier somehow. The leaves have turned red and orange, almost as if they're bleeding. The ground is covered in them, making everything sound so much quieter when you walk, like the whole forest is holding its breath. Thank goodness you're here. I wasn't sure if you were actually going to come. We're all desperate. They say you're an expert, that you've dealt with creatures of the night. Please have a seat. Really, everything just started a few weeks ago. We lost a few sheep, and we live in the woods. At first, everyone thought it was bears or wolves, but we started seeing tracks, and they were huge. First of all, they bigger than any wolf that I've ever seen, but there was something about them that seemed maybe a little human. We started to see claw marks in trees too high for any animal I've ever seen to reach, and it was coming closer all the time. We saw it on doors and outside of homes. Sheep started to disappear as well. But the worst part was the howling that started. It was distant at first, almost like a bad dream that you could shake off, but every night it seemed to come closer. And then when it got to the full moon, it was closer than ever. It was right on top of us. Now it's like it's stalking us, playing some kind of terrifying, twisted game. Every night, as we get closer to the next full moon, it seems to get closer to us, and everyone's staying inside, locking their doors. People are terrified. I hope that you can help us. The disappearances have started, and the only actual attack I've seen in front of me was old Matthew, who lived near the forest. He was a farmer, and he's lived here all his life. He doesn't scare easily. He's seen every kind of creature, every storm. And this, I don't know, it started stalking him. It would leave scratches on his door, terrorizing him at night. And one night he tried to ignore it, and the scratching just got louder and louder, and then it was banging, and so he went outside, and then silence. He thought it was over. Once it had started, it's like it didn't get bored. It came back every few hours just to play with him, and eventually he opened the door, and there it was. Just these red, glowing eyes just right in front of him. It leapt at him and dragged him right from his doorstep across the field. By the time anyone got to him, he was barely recognizable. Now we all live in fear of this happening to us. It's like it's getting bolder, maybe hungrier. I don't know, it's taken children, it's taken hunters. No one who's gone out to look for the thing has come back alive. And it always leaves a part of the person behind, like it's leaving some kind of message. This thing is hunting us. And the full moon's tomorrow night. And I know it's gonna come. It's coming for blood. It's coming for everyone who lives here, and we can't do this anymore. I made a book of things that I hope might be helpful to you. There's maps, notes on sightings. If you take a look at this map, you can see these are the places that it's been spotted for sure. By the church, in the woods, here and here, at old Matthew's house, and by the Joneses, where it took one of their daughters. It always seems to try to lure folks deeper into the woods, but if you stick to the areas I've marked here, you should be okay, I'm hoping. If you look on the next page, I don't know how helpful it'll be, but I made a chart of the timing of the moon, of its rises and sets and the phases. Did you hear that? It's the first howl of the night. They say it's a warning. Phases of the moon. Like I said, tomorrow night the moon will be full, but it shouldn't rise until about 5:30, so you should have several hours of daylight in which to search. I know you know this, but once the moon rises, it will lose any trace of humanity or even of animal that it ever had. Become a creature that wants for nothing but blood. Please, are you as brave as they say that you are? Can only hope. Feels like you're our last chance. From what I've read, sometimes they can even read your thoughts. Bury your fears deep. That's all I can say. What would you have us do? We can do anything you need. I mean, we'd love to offer you supplies. We can even form a hunting party to go with you if you need. I'm not sure who's going to be willing to go at this point, but I'll volunteer. No. You really are brave. Well, at the very least, take this. They say that silver burns them. Keep it close to your heart, okay? Do you mind if I put it on you? Lean down. I would do anything to keep you safe, to keep my town safe. And last thing. Take this dagger with you. I hope that it won't get close enough for you to use it, but like I said, the silver will kill it immediately. Will burn it. If you stick it right through the heart, it should be enough to kill it. It's getting closer. Here. Take that. Is there any other way I can help you? You're braver than any of us. Thank you. There's a bed for you at the end for tonight if you want to rest before you start the hunt. You're starting tonight. Okay. Thank you. You're a brave soldier. Please be careful.